Okay, I hope you coped okay with the work yesterday and were able to check your answers online. So just moving on, still with a binomial, a couple of different sorts of question. Here, in this question two, we're not given the context of what x is. We're not told this is someone rolling a dice or doing this, that, or the other. We're just told that x is some variable, and it's the number of successes when something's done 20 times, and each time you do it, the probability of success is 0.35. We're not told any more. And we're asked to find a number of probabilities. So I'm going to firstly get my calculator into binomial mode. So remember, we go to statistics and then distribution and binomial and binomial cumulative, and that gets me through to where I was yesterday. And I'm going to enter the value of number of trials and the probability 20 and 0.35. So there's 20 and 0.35. And I'm asked in the first case to work out the probability that x is less than 10. So don't forget, if we're doing something 20 times, we could succeed no times, one time, two times, all the way down to 20 times. Don't forget to include 0. So the probability that x is less than 10, well, that is less than or equal to 10, sorry. That's all those probabilities, isn't it? From 0 down to 10. So for part A, I'm going to enter a lower of 0 and an upper of 10. And so the answer is 0.9468. Remember, 4 decimal places. 4 decimal places. Part B, so we're still talking about something that can happen no times, one time, two time, all the way down to 20 times. We're asked to work out the probability that x is greater than 6. Can't be 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's all of those, isn't it? From 7 all the way down to 20. So I'm going to enter a lower of 7 and an upper of 20. So a lower of 7 and upper of 20 is how I work out the probability that x is greater than 6. So that's 0.583. X is equal to 5. Well, we did that yesterday, didn't we? We just did a lower and upper of 5. So the same value gives us that one. And then part D, it's probability that x is between 2 and 7, including 2 and 7. So it's that. So we're going to put a lower of 2 and an upper of 7. Now the book makes a bit of a meal of this, and that's because the book is still assuming people are, in some cases, using the tables rather than the calculator. Absolutely fine to use the calculator. So the book is sort of a little bit old-fashioned in that regard, but it's really, really easy with the calculator. So have a go at 3 and 4. These are on page 93, but again, I'm going to share this as a PDF if you would rather, but you'd have to look in the book to get the answers. I then just start to talk about question 5. We've got a context now, so we're dealing with the number of heads when you flip 8 coins. So the number of heads will be binomial. This meets all of our conditions. We are doing it 8 times, and the probability of success is a half, isn't it, when you flip a coin? So I'm going to quickly enter those values on my calculator. So I've got number of trials this time is 8, and the probability of success is 0.5. Okay. So the probability of getting no heads. So this we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're the possible number of heads, including 0. So no heads, that's just going to be a lower and upper of 0. 0, and 0. And that's a tiny, tiny probability, isn't it? So that's 0.0039. Yeah, 0039. The probability of at least 2 heads. Now, I think this is where the picture here, I call this my picture, is really helpful. At least 2, that means 2 or more, doesn't it? So it's this. And I think it's really worth being really careful with that. At least 2 means 2 or more. So for that question, I'm going to put a lower of 2 and an upper of 8. And that will get me the answer for at least 2. And for part C, that was B, so for part C, if I do my picture again, 5, 6, 7, 8, more heads than tails. Well, if there are 4 heads, there are going to be 4 tails. So it must mean 5, 6, 7 or 8 heads, mustn't it? That's what they're talking about, more heads than tails. 5 heads would mean 3 tails, 6 heads would mean 2 tails. So I'm going to put for that question a lower of 5 and an upper of 8. And that will give me my probability for that one. It might be worth you having another go at that and just checking the answers, but then I'll put another sort of wordy question like that one. That's actually on page 94 in the textbook, but again, I've shared this PDF. It's, words like at most are really tricky, so that's the one I think you've got to be really careful. And if you get an answer that's different to the book, have a think about your picture for that one. Okay, I'm going to go through 6 when I next post a video. That's on Thursday next week. I do hope you are all well and that you're coping with this 3 lessons of pure, 2 lessons of statistics a week. I will hear from you again next week.